Hello, Serge here for the Backyard Driving Range. All right, we have a question that came in, and it is from Sligo Cottage. Didn't give me his name, so we'll go by Sligo Cottage. And he says, the subject is uphill and downhill and side hill lies. Could you do a couple lessons on uneven lies? The course I play have a lot of undulation, and often my feet are not on the same plane nor with the line of the ball. Occasionally I get lucky and make contact with the ball, but having some rules would really help. We have a hole that is nearly vertical from the forward tee and about a 100-yard carry across heavy rough, and 18 crosses a canyon uphill, usually into the wind, and you have to have a lofted carry of more than 100 yards to make it over the canyon. All right, good question. Let's see if we can't give you some easy basic rules, okay? Now, and the peak performance swing and its setup are very simple at helping some of these. Let's just start off with the one that we can talk about being the easiest, side hill lies. All right. Now, sometimes people they try to learn this. They try to learn this theorem. Okay, ball's above my feet. What do I got to do now? I know I have to aim right or left, and do these kind of things. Let's make it simple. All right. Here's my ball. The target, naturally, is the camera. Okay. I'm not going to hit a ball here because I don't want to hurt my camera, and my cars are right on the other side of that camera. Okay. So, assuming we got a hill shaped this way, all right, and the target's at the camera, I'm looking at it. The simplest rule is look at the hill, all right? The hill is the shaft of the club. The shape of the hill, it determines the flight of the ball. So this hill means the ball is going to turn from right to left. It always goes from the high side to the low side. So so this means that if you're playing a golf shot, whether you're right-handed or left-handed, and the ball is above your feet, the shape is going to go right to left for a lefty, for a righty. And if it's this way for a lefty and he's standing back here, it's going to go left to right. So it would be a pull shot, a hook or a pull for either player. Okay? So, with that thought, with that lie, you have to aim for a righty to the right and for a lefty to the left because it's going to hook or pull. Now, the magic question is how much? Well, only you can start figuring that out by doing it once I give you the how to set up. Okay? So, again, if you're looking at it, if you're standing here and looking at the camera, and now the hill is this way for a right-hander. I got the ball going from the high to low. It's going to go from left to right. And therefore, if it's this way for the lefty, he's going to go from right to left, the exact opposite of the first one. So, again, how much does it do it? You got to figure out. You got to figure that out with yourself. But the simple question is, I mean, it'd be cool if I could raise this mat up, but I don't have the ability to do that. So I'm going to say, let's say, for example, and I'm talking in right-handed terms here, the ball is up about this high. All right, so when you walk in, now, one of the things about the peak performance golf swing, and I call it the accordion effect, is to get in that athletically ready position like a shortstop or a linebacker looking at a wide receiver that he doesn't know where that guy's going. So he's staying here his legs are athletically ready, his body all his muscles are ready to go like a tiger ready to pounce on a prey. He's standing there ready like this, the head is up. And so, how do they go down? A shortstop runs out to shortstop. He goes down what? His knees and his shoulders go down together, and it squeezes the hips out. It's automatic balance control. It's automatic counterbalancing. It's the perfect system to creating perfect balance. Okay? Now, again, the shortstop doesn't go like this. He doesn't bend his knees, then put his arms down, or he doesn't bend his shoulders and then bend his knees, because that can warp everything. That can skewer everything, and you won't be in dynamic balance. So once you walk in and you walk up near the ball, and I get what I feel is about the proper distance from the ball on the height and the angle it is. I stand in here, then I always do what? I stand up and I just go back down with my, I say accordion effect, shoulders and knees go down together, squeeze out the hips, perfect counterbalancing. Conversely, the other way, I can do it a little bit here because this mat, I got a brace under it a board under it, because why? I'm downhill here. All right, all the water drains from my upper yard down through here, right through the brick wall we have there with steps that come into the backyard, and it goes downhill. So if my ball's below my feet, I'll walk into it. I'll try to get to the point where I feel I'm the right distance. When I got that, I'm going to stand up, and then I'm going to go down together. All right? Now if I can maintain that, see how much I'm down here? So I'm gonna choke my club up, making believe it's at least 2 inches below my feet. And so here's the ball. I'm gonna kind of walk in, get to the right place. I'm gonna stand up, and then I'm gonna go down. Now look at the bend. Look at how much bend there is in my knees and my back, and my head's still up, okay? And the ball's down. Now naturally, if the ball was really below my feet, I'd be using the entire club. All right, so you see that posture there? Now let's make believe it's up here. Now I'm going to do what? I'm going to walk in, I'm going to get in here, I'm going to get about the right distance, I'm going to stand up, and then I'm going to go down. Now look at the difference in my knees and my shoulders. In this case, I might choke up on the club. In fact, I very likely will. Okay, I'll aim to the right because I know that swinging on this flatter, more baseball swing type plane, the club is flatter, it's going to release more, and it's going to be a pull or a hook. All right? The higher up your ball, the more it's going to hook. The lower your ball and below your feet, the more it's going to slice. Now the only problem when the ball's below your feet, you got the problem of possibly on a steeper angle, your heel hitting the club. So the thing I always talk about that's critical anytime you have uphill downhill lie, in terms of the ball above your feet or below your feet, as well as if you're standing here and the lie is downhill, meaning I'd be like this, all right, or uphill where I'd be like that. So I got uphill, downhill. We're going to change our stance there too. But my contention is, no matter any time you have an uneven lie, you should take your practice swings near the ball at that lie. And the reason is because now you're in that lie. You can start adjusting with your stance to see what's going to give you the balance. But the big thing is that you want to see when that lie, especially on a downhill lie, where your body is tilted like this would be downhill like this, and naturally uphill would be like this, okay? On those two lies, you definitely have to think about when is that lie going to start pushing me or thrusting me out of balance. Naturally, a downhill lie is going to start what? It's going to start getting me to my upper body to go forward, and I have to make sure that I find that setup, and I make sure that when I practice swing, I feel that when it's going to start to push me, I adjust my setup to make sure that I will at least be there until impact, or get a little bit more forward to make sure I get it. So the ball will be back a little bit so I can hit it sooner, because if I hit it too late, the club will have released it, I'll be a mile to the left. So you're feeling it to find out ball position, which normally if you're downhill lie, the ball will be back more. If you're uphill lie, which would be a little bit more like this, you're going to have the ball probably about the same and maybe a little bit forward. And again, because it's uphill, you might want to adjust that. It's going to pull a little, downhill it'll cut a little, okay? So always take your practice swing by the ball and feel when will that ball above your stance start to, how much you really got to work to make sure you swing vertical on it, and as much as you can, and that you can stay and hopefully finish relatively stable. Now there's some of them, no matter what, you get up here enough, you hit it, there's no way, no, even if you go vertical, you're falling backwards. So you got to plan, you got to know when is that going to really push you, and you better have hit the ball before that happens, because if you do, you could top it or whiff it even. Same thing with the downhill. When is that downhill lie going to reach the point where it's going to pull you forward, and you better figure out how to stand and everything else to make sure that you get impact before the forces of making a swing are going to pull you out of your and make you lose your balance. Because in severe up and downhill, a ball above your feet, below your feet, downhills and uphills, they can really there's almost sometimes no way you can really keep your balance. But you better be there and maintain it until impact. And the only way to find that out is to take your practice swings beside the ball and feel what's going to happen, and then use your brain to figure out what adjustments you need to make in your stance to be able to make sure that you are still there to hit it before the forces pull you out or push you forward. Okay, because sometimes you just can't avoid it. Trying to hit the ball with some power, you're going to lose your balance when the angles are too steep. Okay, so the ball goes in the direction of the slope of the hill when you stand behind it and have the ball between you and the target. For uphill, for the ball above your feet and below your feet, and downhill lies, they'll tend to pull where the ball is above your feet, and when it's below your feet, it's going to have a tendency to fall in, and it's hard to swing up, so you're going to cut the ball or fade it. Okay. So get in there, feel the swing, feel that what you got to do to stay there till impact, and then make that setup and swing. And you start hitting your side hill lies, uphill, downhill, ball above and ball below a lot better, more consistent. And again, if you've got places on your range you can practice it, that's the place to do it. Or go out on your course late at night on some of those spots and practice it, because only you, based on your setup and your swing, can start to figure out how much do those lies affect your ball in terms of not being straight and how much it might curve with a draw or curve with a fade. And then you can start learning those things based on the lie, knock them, lock them into your memory banks, and so therefore you know what to do and get an idea of what's going to happen because you've practiced it and you've memorized it, and you get that feeling when you get in that stance and test that lie before you hit the ball to know exactly what's going to happen, so you can better judge what your shot's going to do and keep the ball in play, hit those greens, hit those fairways and greens, and shoot lower scores. That's it for the Surge for today, and I'll be talking with you all again soon.